What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV, back here for some more content for you guys. I am back in the studio, back from the dead, and what a fitting time as well, because it is Christmas time. But nah, joking. But we are here to do some World Cup prediction reviews for you. We're going to take a look at our World Cup predictions, some very tragic predictions in there from me, to be honest, and we're going to react to them. Always fun to do something like this. So let's start off with the main predictions that we did do first thing, starting off with Golden Boot, where Sim chose Harry Kane and I chose Lautaro Martinez. I mean, Kane did do well in goal contributions, up there in third or fourth in the tournament. Lautaro Martinez did not get even one goal contribution, I don't think.
Yeah, he started the tournament, and then
he hardly played a minute after that.
I believe, if I'm right in saying, against Saudi Arabia, didn't he have like 2 goals chalked off?
Yeah, he did.
For offside.
Yeah.
And then I think he started against Mexico, was hauled off after about an hour.
Start again.
And that was it for him for the tournament. Should have got a goal in the final, should he? He looked really... There was something off with Lautaro this tournament. Like, he came on against France, and he had so many chances and just didn't look confident at all. Maybe it's because he got displaced, but there was something off about Lautaro. But yeah, he didn't do too well. Kane, goals on the Golden Boot part of it, only got 2 goals, so you can't really say he was ever close to winning it. Did get 5 goal contributions, which is third.
Playmaker of the tournament.
Huh?
Could have got playmaker of the tournament.
Yeah, potentially. But we should have gone with the most obvious ones. Messi and Mbappe were the ones who ultimately, who would have guessed? Messi and Mbappe would be the up for Golden Boot. Obviously, Mbappe wins it in the end. But yeah, we didn't get this one quite right.
No, not at all.
I was trying to think outside the box, I think, and didn't quite go to plan.
No, yeah. I mean, I just went way too outside the box. Lautaro Martinez.
Didn't help.
Should have looked at his, greatest of all time teammate in Lionel Messi. But anyway, let's look at our dark horses. I went for Uruguay. You went for Portugal. Portugal was obviously a much better shout than Uruguay. Uruguay were a letdown, to be honest. They came into the tournament with high hopes. They played some decent, maybe not decent football. Their football was tragic, to be honest, but they had a few standout performers like Rodrigo Bentancur. But apart from that, I mean, they really flattered to deceive, didn't they? And they didn't get out of the groups, did they?
No, they went out in the groups to South Korea, pipping them right at the last, off that the last minute assist by Son. Portugal, to be honest, up until they went out, were looking quite good to go all the way to the semis and maybe in a final, the way they were playing. They seemed to be growing in the tournament. They just battered Switzerland 6-1, and then they got the shock of the tournament probably when losing to Morocco in the quarters. Ronaldo didn't start the game, played about 40 minutes and didn't do anything. And they'll be really disappointed, because I thought with this Portugal squad, it was a really good opportunity to do something. They got a really strong squad, chock full of talent. And to go out in the quarters to Morocco was a big letdown for them, I'm sure. Did you see what Ronaldo said in a quote today? He said, winning the World Cup with Brazil and Argentina is not the same with Portugal. It's a lot harder with Portugal.
It's an old quote, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah.
I just saw it. I thought it was so
no, yeah. This is a quote from a few years back, I think.
Okay, if that's true. Because I was about to say, Portugal have a great squad. It's definitely, I don't think you can use that excuse.
Okay, yeah. I don't think that's too much of an excuse anymore. And I think the Portugal squad is probably better than the Argentinian squad as a whole anyway.
I think in terms of depth, they've got so much depth in that Portugal squad. But I think they didn't use the most out of it at the end, and they were really pitiful against Morocco, to be honest.
They were. Let's talk about breakout stars. Funnily enough, we both went to someone from Germany. You went for Yusuf Moukoko, didn't play a minute this World Cup. I went for Musiala. It's probably the first prediction I've got over you, which, well, it's kind of like putting it a bit kindly. But Musiala, as much as Germany went out in the group stages, he was probably their best player in the group stages.
Yeah, he was brilliant, I have to say. It was such a shame for him that they went out, because he was one of the standout players. Moukoko, we really would have thought he would have, especially in games they were trailing, at least come off the bench and try to change things. Obviously, I went with the guy from Bremen. I can't remember his name now. Fulkrug, who did, to be fair, got a goal against Spain, didn't he?
He looks really good, Fulkrug.
So he did get a goal, so, can't say he got it wrong, but especially in some of the other games, I thought Moukoko could have come on and made a difference. They decided not to go with him. Maybe he's too young, 17, but look,
it's like the Walcott World Cup, wasn't it, with Moukoko?
Yeah, he just didn't play a minute. But they're out the group stage, and maybe they could have played him. Maybe they could have used him.
They should have used him.
But you got to say the breakout star of this tournament was probably Enzo Fernandez.
Yeah, Enzo Fernandez. I mean, there were a few, but he is the one. He got Young Player of the Tournament, didn't he? He won the World Cup. He was so central.
Maybe Unahi was up there as well.
Definitely Unahi was up there. I think there's a few players, but I think probably Enzo Fernandez is the one that gets the breakout star of the tournament, seeing as he did get Young Player of the Tournament anyway. So, Musiala and Moukoko, who we went for Player of the Tournament, is the one that we both got absolutely spot on in Lionel Messi. Absolutely sensational tournament from Messi. Hail the king, hail the GOAT. And he duly delivered. It was unbelievable to watch. It really was.
What a moment to deliver in his last ever World Cup as well. Yeah, we called it.
Not if you ask Scaloni.
Yeah, you never know. Maybe he'll be there at 39 in America. But what a World Cup he had! I thought he was sensational throughout the whole tournament, and I'm so happy that I was able to witness that as well in his last ever World Cup, because it really was a case of kind of now or never, it seemed, for Messi, and he definitely turned up. He was brilliant in pretty much every game. I think he scored in every game apart from the Poland game where he missed a penalty. So and he was setting things up as well. He was at his best, his dribbling best. What a tournament this guy had, and it was just a pleasure to watch.
Yeah. All right, well, let's go on to the surprise packages. Sim went for Serbia. I went for Canada. Both went out in the group stages. Both finished bottom of their groups, and both didn't have a win in this tournament, which is funny enough. But Serbia are got to be the ones that have massively let themselves down, because in the last game of the group, they could have gone through that day. They were leading. They let it slip. The game before that, they were leading 3-1 against Ghana. They let it slip. They've got a really good team there, Serbia, but they completely flopped this tournament, didn't they?
Yeah, they'll be disappointed because fair enough, you lose to Brazil 2-0, that's expected, but 3-1 up against Cameroon and give it away, 2-1 up against Switzerland, give it away. That's got to be playing on their mind massively. The fact they went out in the group stage having led twice, and with the talent they have, they really should have gone through. I know Switzerland did well to, in the end, tactically outdid Serbia in the end, but in terms of talent in the teams, it's so much better for Serbia. I think they've got so much more talent, and I do wonder though whether this was kind of the tournament for them to do something, because the players are getting older a bit. I don't know if they'll be up for it next tournament. I think this was the time to at least get into the knockouts or maybe a quarter-final or something. Didn't happen, and I do worry for them in the future. But Canada, they were a breath of fresh air the way they played, high-energy football, lots of pressing, but unfortunately just maybe a bit naive in the end.
Yeah, definitely. They gave it a really good go in the first game against Belgium, where they definitely should have got something out of that game, in my opinion, losing 1-0. Then they got battered by Croatia 4-1.
After going 1-0 up in the first couple of minutes.
But still, that was a complete landslide victory for Croatia. But they gave it a really good go against Morocco in the next game, where they were all but out, to be honest. Look, I think the first they can go home from this tournament proud that they've come to the World Cup. They've given it a good go, and I think they were close to a lot of people's hearts with the way they played their football. But in terms of them being a surprise package, I think to some extent they were a surprise package, but not the surprise that maybe I was thinking, because I think that maybe they could have got out of the group.
I think the surprises probably go to either Japan, South Korea, and obviously Morocco got to the semi-finals. That was the biggest surprise.
Japan and Morocco for me.
Yeah, but Japan and Korea getting out of the groups they were in, good achievements for them as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Now let's get on to flop of the tournament. Sim going for Belgium and I went for France. So France losing in the World Cup final on penalties, that's a flop, right?
They flopped it massively, no? It's like saying Mbappe flopped it in the final. But, it didn't quite happen. I said before the tournament that I think obviously there was a bad feeling in France going into this tournament, but I had a feeling that despite the fact that they had won the last World Cup and stuff, I had a feeling the fact that Pogba and Kante were out, and they were refreshing it a bit with Chouameni and a few other fresh faces. I didn't even clock that they had a new position for Griezmann as well. But that kind of freshed things up enough for France to kind of put those bad feelings aside. And they had a brilliant tournament, to be fair.
I didn't even think they were that good, France. I mean, from the French team, which I'm used to seeing, I don't even think they were that good. I think we should have beaten them in the quarters. I thought we were the better team that day. Fair enough, they beat Poland and they beat Morocco, easily done. And I thought for 80 minutes or 75 minutes of that World Cup final against Argentina, it was one-way traffic. It was all Argentina. And the two big teams that they came up against Argentina and England, I thought they got outdone in both games, to be honest. And they got kind of lucky to get past us and get back into the game against Argentina.
They remind me a lot of like the Real Madrid team that won the Champions League a bit. It's kind of like they weren't brilliant in terms of dominating games or anything like that, but when they needed to step up in the moments, they did. When they had to score, they scored. And when they came up against teams they should beat, they beat them. And then when they played against teams probably who are better than them, they were just clever and smart and had that know-how. Maybe in the Argentina game, that was a bit of just like maybe a bit of luck, but you know what? I think for the last like 20 minutes, to be fair, they gave it a really good go and they end up getting back in the game. When you have someone like Mbappe, you never know. You know what's you can do. So I think they had the know-how. I don't think they were maybe as good as they were last tournament, where I feel like they really dominated that tournament. But they got to a final again, and they only lost on penalties, so you can't begrudge them too much.
Yeah, look, at the end of the day, to get to a final to lose on penalties is going to be severely unlucky. I know I just said I didn't think they deserved to get to the final, but once you get there and you take a look at their whole tournament, you got to say well done. You know, 2 back-to-back finals for the World Cup. It's a great achievement. But Belgium, on the other hand, absolutely spot on. They were terrible. Yeah. Absolutely terrible. Went out in the group stages, didn't win a game. No, they beat Canada, didn't they? But apart from that, they didn't win a game, and they were shocking, absolutely shocking. And when you're talking about flop of the tournament, you probably got to look at Romelu Lukaku or someone like that.
Oh my word!
Some of the misses that he did was
all in that one game. It was crazy. He had like 4 unbelievable misses. I have to say, De Bruyne, I thought had a horrible tournament.
Yeah, absolutely.
He was a massive letdown as well in this tournament. What a shame for him. Belgium were just really, really poor, you have to say, and they're aging. I think a lot of people maybe expected with their aging team, especially the back line, and there seemed to be a lot of disharmony in the camp as well, and that's led to them going out in the group. So yeah, it was a good prediction for me.
And last but not least, the winners. It's absolutely spot on from you, Argentina.
There you go.
The winners of the World Cup 2022, when I went for their South American counterparts in Brazil, who got knocked out in the quarterfinals.
If I told you this after the first game week, you'd have been like laughing at me.
Yeah.
Probably with Argentina losing to Saudi Arabia.
You know what? Once Argentina lost to Saudi, everyone was posting in our group saying, oh, Spain lost the first game in 2010. Yeah. Look what happened. And it's exactly what happened.
And yeah, it's true. Like kind of Brazil started very quickly with 3 wins out. No, they lost to Cameroon in the last group game. They won their first 2, and then they battered South Korea in the last 16, and it was looking like they were hot property. And then they just got outdone with a bit of naivety.
Wasn't it? Exactly the same, because they battered Switzerland in the last 16, and then they went out in the quarters. And it was just like the 2 best performing teams in the last 16 both went out in the quarters.
Whereas Argentina won 2-1 against Australia. I know they probably deserved the win, but like it wasn't like resounding.
Yeah, but I kept saying this to you throughout the tournament with Argentina. Ever since that Saudi Arabia game, they grew massively game on game.
You remember, they went into that Mexico game. If they didn't win, they could have been gone out. Like they were literally on the brink. Messi turned up. They won 2-0. They won the next game. And the rest is history. They went on to go on and win the tournament. But you're right, they grew in the tournament. And I think maybe the experience of winning that Copa last year really helped them. Not panic in this tournament and have that know-how, and obviously getting Cuti Romero back to his best didn't hurt either. But
Cuti Romero, that's 2 international tournaments, 2 trophies.
Apparently he has the same amount of trophies as he does losses for his international for Argentina. He's only lost 2 games.
Wow.
In his time in Argentina, and he has 2 trophies.
It's mad.
So he has the same amount of trophies as he does losses.
It's mad.
It's a mad stat. But yeah, look, they had that experience and know-how. I didn't even think that in terms of depth of squad, they had the best depth in the tournament by a long stretch. But they had that togetherness, they had that belief, which I kept saying. They had that belief that they're going to get Messi this trophy. And you saw at the end what it all meant to everyone, not just winning that World Cup, but winning it for Messi as well. Means the world. And
did you see that that message Rodrigo de Paul left for Messi in his dressing room?
2 months ago? What did it say?
It says, I write to you on this certain date. in 2 months' time we'll be winning the World Cup or something like that.
No, he knew it. If Messi can predict it, then it's going to come to pass.
No, Messi didn't, right? Rodrigo De Paul.
Oh, De Paul predicted it for Messi.
Yeah.
There you go.
So yeah. Anyway, those were our predictions. Let's have a look at the tournament trees. Let's start off with Sims, and we'll see where we go. So we got a bit of a scoring system.
Yeah. So how it works is 1 point for each correct group position, and 2 points for each correct knockout position that you get. So we're going to see who comes out with more points. So if we go to my group stage. Group stages in Group A, I've gone for Netherlands to finish top, Senegal second, Qatar third, Ecuador fourth. Group B, England to top the group, USA to qualify ahead of Wales and Iran finishing bottom. Group C got Argentina, Poland to be ahead of Mexico, and Saudi Arabia fourth. Group D, I've got Denmark to finish above France, with Tunisia above Australia. Group E, I've got Germany top, Spain second, Japan third, Costa Rica fourth. Group F, I've got Croatia top, Belgium just sneaking in ahead of Canada, and then Morocco fourth. And Group G, Brazil top, Serbia second, Switzerland to go crashing out, and Cameroon fourth. And in Group H, Portugal first, Uruguay second, Ghana third, and South Korea in fourth. Given that, the knockout stages look like this. I've got Holland to play USA and to go through. I've got Argentina to play France in the round of 16, and I've got Argentina to beat France, and there'll be revenge for last World Cup where France won 4-3 against Argentina.
And that'll play into my flop of the tournament.
And then I got Germany to beat Belgium in the next one. Brazil to sneak past Uruguay. England to then beat Senegal. Denmark to beat Poland. Spain to beat Croatia, and Portugal to beat Serbia. Going into the quarterfinals, I've got Holland versus Argentina, where I think Argentina will win. Brazil to play Germany, and that'll be a revenge for the 7-1. I've got Brazil to win that one. England to play Denmark, which will be a repeat of the Euros, but no revenge for Denmark. I've gone for England to beat Denmark this time. And I've got Spain to play Portugal, and I've got Portugal to edge past Spain in this one. Semi-finals look unbelievable. Argentina versus Brazil and Portugal versus England. I've got Argentina to sneak past Brazil, and I've got Portugal to beat England in a semi-final. And in the final, which would be very romantic, Argentina versus Portugal, Ronaldo versus Messi. It couldn't get any bigger, and I've gone for Argentina to win. So that's the tournament tree I've gone with, and that would be that's not even that unrealistic. All right, so those were my predictions, which I had for the tree. So in the group stages, I got 13 points. I got 2 points for Group A. I got 2 points for Group B. I got 4 points for Group C because I got that screw absolutely spot on. Group D, which was France, Australia, Tunisia, and Denmark. Actually, the only one I got right was Tunisia in third. France, I had France finishing second, which was and I had Denmark topping the group. That didn't pan out right. Group E, I actually correctly predicted Spain finishing second, but I had Germany top, not Japan, and Costa Rica bottom, so that's another 2 points. The Group F, Morocco, Croatia, Belgium, Canada, I got that completely wrong. Not one, got 0 points for that. 1 point for Brazil finishing top of their group, and 1 point for Portugal finishing top of their group. So that's 13 points for the group stages. I also had, and if you go to the knockouts, I had Holland. What did I have? Holland going through against the so I had USA going out in the round of 16. So that's another 2 points. That's 15. I had Senegal going out round of 16. So that's another 2 points. So that's 17. I had in the quarterfinals. What did I have in the quarterfinals? 1 sec. Holland going out in the quarterfinals. That's another 2 points. That's 19. And then I had, I think the only other one I had correct was Argentina going all the way. So that's 21 points by my reckoning.
All right.
Well, 21 points, yeah. Yeah, everything else I got wrong.
Think I can beat you? Well, I think you know already what I've got, but maybe I can beat you. But let's go and see my predictions, see how well I did. Okay, so in Group A, I got Netherlands, Senegal, Ecuador, and Qatar. I think that's 4 points, isn't it?
4 points.
That's absolutely spot on. For Group B, I got England, USA, Wales, Iran. That's 2 points. I got
Correct.
Wales and Iran mixed up. But let's go and see what happens in the group C and D. C, I've got Argentina top with Mexico second, Poland third, and Saudi Arabia in fourth. In group D, I've got France to finish second with Denmark top, Australia pipping Tunisia in third and fourth. In group E, I've got Spain to win the group, Germany second, Japan third, and Costa Rica fourth. Group F, we've got Croatia top, Canada second, and Belgium going out in the group stage in third place with Morocco as fourth. Is Group G, I've got Brazil to win the group with Serbia in second, Switzerland in third, and Cameroon in fourth. And then Group H, I've got Portugal to win the group, Uruguay in second, and Ghana and Korea going out. So I've got actually gone for Belgium to go out in the group stages, which is crazy. Going into the round of 16, I've gone for Netherlands to beat USA, Argentina to beat France, Spain to beat Canada, Brazil to beat Uruguay, and England to beat Senegal, and Denmark to beat Mexico, Germany to beat Croatia, and Portugal to beat Serbia, which fits us up to an unbelievable quarterfinals. So you go for Netherlands against Argentina, and I've backed Argentina to beat the Netherlands. Spain against Brazil. I've backed Brazil to beat Spain. England to beat Denmark in the quarterfinals, and then Germany to pip Portugal in the quarterfinals, which leaves us with two unbelievable semi-finals. When you want to talk about romance, the semi-finals are Brazil against Argentina and Germany against England. Two rivals going up against each other in the semi-finals, and I've gone Brazil to pip Argentina in the semi-finals and Germany to pip England in the semi-finals. And then that leaves us with a Germany-Brazil final. And when you talk about romance and wanting to get one over of the 7-1, what better place to do it in the World Cup final? And I've gone for Brazil to beat Germany in the World Cup final. So that is my tournament. What the hell are those predictions? Germany to get to the World Cup final. They couldn't even get out of the groups.
Oh, dearie.
At least I had Belgium going out the group stages, even though you had them as flops, but making it through the group stages. I had Morocco to finish bottom of their group. They ended up making the semi-finals.
Let's see how many points you got.
Just where do we start from these predictions? I swear, these World Cup predictions are the most tragic predictions I've ever made in my life.
You've got 4 points for Group A, 2 points for Group B, so that's 6 points. 1 point for 2 points for Group C, so that's 8 points.
Yeah, it was Argentina, Saudi.
No points for Group D.
Yeah.
Group E, you have 1 point for Costa Rica. So how many points? Well, 9 points. Group F, you have 1 point for Belgium. So that's 10 points. Yep. Group G, you have 1 point for
Brazil,
11 points. And Group H, you have 1 point
for Portugal.
So that's 12 points. 12 points there. And then in the knockouts, you get 2 points for USA going out in the round of 16. So 14 points. You have Senegal going out in round of 16. So that's 16 points. What else did you have? Senegal going out round of 16. Can't see what else you've had. And then I think that's where it stops. Don't know if you got any others right. Where did you have England going semis?
Yeah.
No, so no points there. I think that's it.
Wow.
Oh, Holland. You had Holland going out to Argentina in the quarters. That's another 2 points. So I think you're on 17 points.
17. It's poor. Where do I have Brazil go? I had Brazil semi-finals.
No, Brazil final.
Brazil final. Argentina.
So I had 23 points. You had 17.
Shocking. Absolutely shocking. I just absolute tragic predictions.
I didn't do too badly. I guess I got 3 round of 16s right. I got 2 quarterfinals right. No, 1 quarterfinal right and 1 final. 1 winner.
I had Germany getting all the way to the World Cup final. Mad.
I don't know why they've gone out now in group stage. Went out to England in the last 16, another group stage.
The only reason I must have got, because I wasn't fancying Germany coming into the tournament. I think it must have just worked. The tree just worked itself out, kind of thing. Who did I have Germany playing all the way up to it? They had England in the semis.
Yeah, beating Portugal in the quarters.
Oh, bloody hell! What am I thinking?
And I don't know who had them play in the...
Either way, they are not beating Portugal and they're not beating England in this tournament.
And you had them beating Croatia in the round of 16. So they actually had a pretty hard run.
The hardest run. Literally the hardest run. But anyway, look, that is us reacting to our World Cup predictions. A bit tragic from me, a bit better than tragic from Sim. But let us know what your thoughts are on our World Cup predictions as well in the comment section below. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, come on, you Spurs.